KT.
And it's Carrah,
Welcome to Life and the Party.
your unofficial guide to growing up and having fun.
Do you want to introduce our drinks for happy hour
Oh,
podcast?
yeah.
What are you drinking?
Should we say this is a happy hour first?
I mean, yeah, it's happy hour. Y'all, what you drinking?
My drink was supposed to be a spicy margarita, but my eyes deceived me. I don't have tequila.
So it's a vodka margarita?
So it's a vodka margarita with Trader Joe's has this spicy jalapeno like limeade.
Ooh.
So I used that, and then I used we only had fruit punch spindrift, so I topped it with that, but it doesn't really taste like fruit punch because it's not very sweet. But yeah, it kind of tastes like shit because it's not tequila.
Well, I made an actual margarita because I did.
God damn it.
And I topped it with watermelon lime sparkling water.
Oh my God.
From Target that I brought over here. So
What else is in it? How did you make it?
Tequila, lime, simple, ice, and then just seltzer. I went for a straightforward one right now. But
It must be nice to have that.
It's not vodka. There's no vodka. I'm about to say there's no vodka in this house, but there is vodka in this house only for martinis. That's it.
Oh, we have to cheers. We have to actually cheers.
Bonk.
Clink.
I said bonk. The fucking glass makes a bonk sound. Jinx.
So, I made a note of like a couple things that I wanted to talk about.
Let's do it. I'm so ready.
I think I had more, but my list is stuff to talk about, what I'm drinking, and Chelsea Handler advice column. So literally there's only one thing left.
We already did. Yeah, we did the first one.
That was when I was more excited about my drink, when I thought I still had tequila.
I guess I have a drink question. For the start of spring, moving into summer, what is your drink of the season going to be, do you think? Like, what are you into right now?
I don't know that I really change them based on season, but
Okay.
I remember like last spring and summer, I was getting lots of watermelon margaritas.
Okay. Oh.
But I haven't really seen those. I know, that's why I was mad. I haven't really seen them at any bars around here. But I have been going for like mezcal margaritas or mezcal and Aperol cocktails.
Nice.
Those are usually like very, very good.
Oh yeah, big
What about
fan
you?
of the mezcal drinks. I would say right now I'm leaning towards making some like spritz variations. Like I have my classic like the mezcal margaritas, and I like a lot of like the rum daiquiris. Usually are my like go-to easy drinks, but I don't know. There's lots of interesting spritzes that are out now that are good and light, especially like that Lillet, and lemon tonic thing that I really like as like a aperitif or something. Like just very like lighter drinks. So I'm thinking of spritzy.
Yeah.
A spritzy summer.
Those are delicious. My only thing with spritzes these days is like they kind of make me sleepy. It's like the Prosecco. Like Prosecco, champagne I don't like really, but Prosecco like will make me a little sleepy. So like if I'm like out drinking and like at a place where I'm like standing or like we're moving around, I'll do that. Or if I'm just having like a drink, I'll get a spritz. But like if I'm gonna be out for a few hours, I try to avoid them.
I think it's got less alcohol punch too, you know? So you're probably getting a little bit of that, like, I'm not getting as much bang for my buck type of drink. And I get the sleepy vibe. I have that with omelets, not related to drinks, but omelets make me sleepy. You know that. Not any other eggs, literally omelets.
Omelets make me sleepy.
But yeah, no, I see that. You know, throw a little vodka in there. It's like, you know, I have a White Claw and want some more bang for my buck. Just put a shot of vodka.
I mean, I feel like they also make like tequila spritzes sometimes, right?
Yeah, you can use like anything. It's just kind of like, I think, something with bubbles in it. So like, I mean, I guess adding soda water to things to make them a little bit lighter, but still strong, I guess, is kind of what I'm looking for. That like bubbly refreshness. I'm moving away from gin. Still like gin drinks, but I don't order them as much as I used to. So
Okay.
unless I'm at like that is my mixed drink of choice. Like, oh, you're at a bar. What are you getting? Gin and ginger ale. You know.
Do you still get gin and ginger ale? I feel like I haven't remembered you getting that lately.
Because I usually try to buy cocktails, but if I'm just like at one of those like bars where it's like
Like a sports bar or
yeah, or
something.
like a
Yeah.
fancy bar, we're either ordering a White Claw, High Noon, or I would get gin and ginger ale or
Okay,
something.
like a vodka soda
Yeah, I just can't.
category.
I'm never really a big fan of this and sodas for some reason. Maybe I'll try one again just to give it a shot, but I haven't been for a while. So
Vodka soda with like 3 lemon wedges squeezed in there tastes like just like a sparkling water. It's really good.
oh.
But it reminds me of like in college when I would get vodka water
Ew, you're psycho.
and I would get a bunch of lemons and it just tastes like I was drinking lemon water. But I like think back to that. I'm like, does anyone order that?
I think I've heard it. I
Probably
don't
like
hear it
alcoholics or
a
something.
lot anymore. Just get a shot of vodka if you're ordering a vodka water. Maybe that's why I was like got turned off by those things. So I just see you ordering vodka waters, and I'm like, what? What's
And
happening?
it felt like I was like hydrate. I mean, I was hydrating myself while I was drinking.
While you were dehydrating yourself at the
Yeah,
same
and
time.
it wasn't like sweet and it like masked the vodka flavor.
Mm-hmm.
It was good.
Right.
This is basically
The same
a
thing.
vodka water.
Probably worse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely worse.
We'll do teenies next time. Mid-afternoon teeny break.
Yeah, well, I guess it is mid-afternoon for you. It's
Yeah, it's like 3:00.
It's after 5 for me. Whoa, Katie, you need to calm down.
I'm on PTO.
Good thing, yeah. Good thing you're not drinking on the clock. So then let's move into the segment about Chelsea Handler's podcast. So I listened to Chelsea Handler's podcast. First of all, she's like one of my favorite, I don't want to say celebrity.
I say people.
Yeah, she's one of my favorite like figures, like known figures. And I've liked her ever since I was like little and she was on like Girls Behaving Badly. It was like a prank TV show with all women who were like actresses, like doing like undercover like pranks and jokes and stuff, like in real life
Okay.
settings. And she has this podcast called Dear Chelsea where people write in and she will have a guest on and she has a producer named Catherine and they talk with the guest a little bit and then they answer questions that are usually somehow geared towards like the guest's experience, like whether
Mhm.
they're a parent or they're gay or they're divorced or whatever. The advice will be like generally in that area. Well, the episode I listened to had Rob Lowe, which I don't think the topic of this question had anything to do with him.
Love Rob
The-
Lowe. He's great.
Oh, he was so cute on the episode, and he also has a podcast called Literally. But anyway, the person writing in, this was killing me. I was listening to it in my car, and I was like, I listened to most of it right before my Pilates class, but I was like literally sitting in my car in the parking lot waiting till the last minute so I could listen to as much as I could. But then I had to get out, and so I was like, well, I don't know how it ends. But I get back in my car, I listen to it. Someone wrote in basically saying that it was a woman who she said she's 33, she's straight. She's been with her boyfriend for 2 years, and she said that she wanted advice on how to handle the situation where her boyfriend has never touched her, done anything with her thing.
But they have sex?
Yes, but he's never like foreplayed it down there. Rude. And I was like, what? And she actually called in. So sometimes it'll be like emails that they read, and then sometimes they have the guest on like video. And the whole time they're talking and they're like, have you talked to him about it? And she's like, yeah, and Chelsea's like, why the hell have you waited for 2 years? She's like, what are you doing? She's like, this is your fault, first of all.
Yes.
Yeah.
To a point,
And
yeah.
she's like, and the girl was so nice. She sounded like so Midwestern, like so well spoken, so sweet. Like she took all the feedback very well, but she also sounded like like a strong woman. Like she wasn't like super passive or anything. She was like, "Yeah, I know. Like if my friends like told me this, like I would tell them like, what are you doing? You're so dumb." Like she's like, and I have asked him, I like, have you ever had any trauma or has a past partner like like gave you bad feedback or whatever?
Mhm.
She has tried talking to him about it and like he doesn't usually say much. And this whole time, I'm like yelling in my car. I'm like, he is gay.
Oh, okay.
I think he is gay. Like, if a man, a straight man who is attracted to women, if he does not want to like touch you
Use
there
other
with like his
things.
hands or his
Mouth.
thing, I'm trying to make this as like not X-rated as possible.
It's PG-13.
Then I think he's gay.
I mean, he also that, or he's just selfish and doesn't really care. Like, I think you have like a couple things. Do they say their like sex life is frequent? Like, is this a lot, or they're having sex like once a month or something really like kind of sparse?
They didn't even talk about it.
Hmm. Did they come to that conclusion?
The gay thing, that was me. That was all me. The whole time I'm like yelling, I'm like, yeah, he's gay. He's gay. And they're all like, well, I don't know what it could be. Maybe this, maybe that. But also like this is like out of hand. Like you've been with him for 2 years. You guys are like in your 30s. Like no one's a virgin. Like I would be willing to bet and maybe buy, but like definitely but I don't even know. I think if a guy like does not want to touch you down there, then he's not attracted to you.
Mm-hmm.
If he's just trying to like stick it in and then get it over with, that's
Mm-hmm.
not
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think?
It's definitely possible. I'm leaning more towards he's either embarrassed that he hasn't gotten that feedback before, maybe. But for some reason, I don't know why he just won't change. Some people have really big egos, and even a discussion like that could possibly hit it in a way.
But she's tried talking to him is the
I
thing.
know. He's not listening, which to me means he either doesn't care what she has to say,
Mhm.
doesn't believe her, you know? It sounds like he doesn't like her because you should want to do those things or explore that more, you know?
Yeah, I think for 2 years, no trauma, you're an adult and you're in a committed heterosexual relationship and the
Mhm.
guy doesn't want to touch your vagine.
Is he touching other stuff? Like boobs? No discussion
I
on
don't
that.
know, maybe. But he's not 2 years, it's like no.
That's too long.
And like he doesn't like it's not that he doesn't like you. I think he doesn't like vagines.
That sounds like something like when you're really young and you're like scared to say something because you don't know how to ask for what you want, kind of.
Yeah, but I also feel like most straight men when they're young
Or like,
want to
ooh.
touch that.
Yeah. Again, he's a selfish partner because if he is gay, he shouldn't be dating her.
Yeah.
And if he's not, he's actively not listening to something that she's brought up multiple times that she wants.
Mhm.
So, and it's not like, oh, you're not doing the dishes. Like, sex is a big part of relationships. And if she's
Yeah.
like very unfulfilled in it, that's going to cause problems. If it obviously it already has, she's calling a podcast about a
That's what
problem.
she said. They were like they said something like, "How are you?" And she was like, "Well, I'm calling a podcast about this very intimate like thing in my life that is embarrassing." She told all her friends and her friends are like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. Like if sex isn't that important to you, and to some people, like you have ups and downs on what they value
Mhm.
or care about, then whatever. Relationship could be great in so many other ways. But I doubt that.
I think unless you're asexual, like it
Mhm.
still is important. It doesn't mean that it's like the number one priority for you, but
Mhm.
yeah, I thought that was crazy.
That sounds tough.
2 years is insane. Of wondering this whole time she's like wondering why won't he? But like I don't know why not a single person on that call said that.
I hope they do a follow up because
Me too.
I would be bothered by that. But I probably would have dealt with that before 2 years
Yeah.
into a relationship.
Chelsea was like, she was like, I wouldn't have gone 2 weeks with that kind of behavior. That's weird. And she said one thing. She said that like she was at a dinner, they were at a dinner with friends, and he started like making like some crass jokes, basically like insinuating like that he does that kind of stuff. And she started getting irritated and she was like, "Okay, enough. Like if you're going to make crass jokes about it, like you need to be doing it basically."
Yeah.
But I'm like, also that is extra weird behavior, and for me that is like a little performative. And so for
Hmm.
me it makes me feel like he's trying to look straight.
Is he cheating on her? It's possible.
Maybe.
I mean, if he does, like,
Katie, a man has been sleeping next to a woman every night for 2 years and he can't and he never once wanted to touch her vagine. That's not normal.
no, I agree
That
because
is
I'm saying he's getting it
not
elsewhere.
heterosexual. It's not. No, I don't think that's what cheaters do. I don't think they just stop touching you with their hands and your face.
I think people just don't want to say what's actually wrong with them. Like he could have like ED or something, or just some other issue, and just
For
don't
a
tell her.
second, Katie, I thought ED, you meant eating disorder. And I was like, so he won't go down on her.
Yeah, he's not hungry. He does have an eating disorder, just that type.
He does. Oh my God. But if you had to commit to one thing, because I've committed to one thing, you have to commit to one thing.
I think I'm committing to selfishness. I don't think he cares. You don't have to stay with someone who doesn't do those things for you.
Yeah.
Like, regardless of whatever their reasonings are, if they're not willing to learn what you like, then they're not, you know, maybe the person for you.
Yeah. Yup.
PSA.
Yup.
There's apparently a new tea with Benny Blanco. Not Benny, our biggest fan.
I was like, how do you know?
It was something along the lines of he's following one of Selena's friends on OnlyFans. And then someone made a comment of like, but Selena isn't even really friends with her friends. Like the girl who gave her the kidney,
Hmm.
they're beefing. She's beefing with other people.
She
Like, is
people said
Selena
that
a
they've
girl
been
now?
beefing for like years.
I just saw it. I just want to throw it out there and see what your thoughts are.
I am over any like drama around Selena Gomez. I don't know if it's her PR team or someone else's PR team that like keeps the drama going
Mm-hmm.
to keep her in the headlines. But I'm over like the Selena Justin Haley stuff. I'm over the Selena Benny Blanco stuff. I tried looking into like why the hell is like all these TikToks started coming up of like, yeah, I tried telling y'all that like Benny Blanco was like a bad guy, blah blah blah. And then I'm like, what? And so I'm like clicking trying to find the context. And I saw like one clip of a podcast interview where he was like, yeah, Selena used to like show up to my house like 20 minutes before our dates and like parked on the street and wait or something. And everyone was like, why is he putting her on blast like that? Why is he like, and I'm like, that really is not that big of a deal.
The hyper stands need to chill, you know?
People on the internet in general need to chill with like forming such strong opinions about stuff that is so stupid.
Like, have an opinion, but like chill about it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it's in the public eye. You can like make your own thoughts, but the stan community needs to chill. They go off the fucking walls with anything.
And I think it's also like there's like a population of women who will find anything to villainize a man about. I'm all about like feminism, like I do my fair share of complaining about men and like characteristics of men or whatever, like speaking to like the woman's existence. Like I
Hmm.
do that all the time. But like for people to after all of the like sweet things Benny Blanco has like publicly said and done about Selena, and then for him to just say that like, yeah, she actually asked me out. For people to overanalyze everything they say and be like, oh, like he's such a shitty guy for saying that. And I'm like, why does that make him shitty?
Yeah. People love a conspiracy.
It's not like he said, Selena is so pathetic that she asked me out first. I'm like,
Mhm.
Who cares?
That's a strong woman who wants a man and shot her shot, you know?
Exactly. People are bitching and complaining about Benny Blanco saying that Selena asked him out first, yet at the same time, they're also like, women, like strong, independent women need to do this and do that. So I don't understand.
But you're not allowed to ask out a man ever.
So that stuff just kind of pisses me off. Like,
Mm-hmm.
complain about things that actually matter, because once you start like complaining about like stupid stuff, people stop listening to you.
It's the boy who cried wolf.
Womanizer. It's the girl who cried womanizer.
Yeah. I think people love a conspiracy. You know, like, oh, he's not actually that good. They're trying to cover this up. They're like doing this, doing this. And they
Well,
like spiral in these weird ways that, and maybe I was thinking like this reminds me of like how Taylor Swift puts all of these codes into all of her things that she does, that everyone is looking into everything so closely because they're like, well, she wore red, then mentioned red here and blah blah blah, but then there's that scarf or something. Like, is all of this a big thing to say there's a new album coming out?
which, by the way, I don't think that's cute that Taylor Swift does that. I think it is like a very like capitalistic strategy to get people to be obsessed with you and spend money on your product. Taylor Swift
Mhm.
wasn't sitting around like, what's a cute thing that like my fans will think is so cute and fun? I'm like, no, that girl only cares about making money. Like, I like her music. Don't care for her really as a person. Like, I don't think I would get along with her, but like, I don't think that kind of stuff is like cute. She's doing it. It's just like how apps design their features and their notifications so that you become addicted. I think that is
Mhm.
how she also operates.
Yeah. And she's done amazing. Like, you kind of have to get the level of success that she's at. Like, she's a billionaire.
She's probably close to being a trillionaire. Like, I don't know. I'm anti-billionaire, but
I mean, most people, I am anti billionaire too. You can be a 999 millionaire and that's fine. But once you hit the B, you're done.
I'm like, why don't you just like quit now and just like start doing a hobby or something? Why do you need to keep making more money?
Like, I don't care what Taylor Swift does. It's what the rabid fans
Yeah.
do, you know?
Yeah.
Especially with like her dating Travis Kelsey and now they're all like crazy Chiefs fans, which I'm like, okay.
Another money
Okay.
making move.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of it is PR. There's not many bad stories about Taylor Swift, right? Like, can you think of one? She didn't lick a donut like Ariana Grande. She's not actively cheating on
That's because
people.
she has so much money that she can pay off like anybody who's going to say anything bad about her. I don't want to talk about Taylor Swift anymore, honestly. Oh, the cops are calling me. Hello. I'm recording the podcast with Katie. Do you want to say hi to the podcast?
Hey,
Why did you say it like that?
Are you hitting on the podcast?
Yeah, it sounded like you were flirting with the listeners. Can you say something to the listeners?
what's up, listeners? I'm on the Atlanta Beltline right now. Shout out to the Beltline, and shout out to listeners.
Okay. Okay, I'm taking you off speaker. So now we're going to switch into our let's get deep questions. Deep. This
It's happy hour podcast.
this one says, if you could ask your future self any question, what would you ask and why? I have to think about this. This is a good question, but I have no idea what.
I want to say some corny shit and be like, are you happy? But that's some corny shit. That's not my real question.
But you would probably, if you asked something like silly like that, your future self would probably give you some like deep ass answer or something.
Yeah. But I want to be a little bit more specific and thoughtful.
How I'm approaching answering this is like, what is something that if I knew now could help me in some sort of way?
Mm-hmm.
I would just ask my future self, like, what are decisions I should make in the next year or couple years to like, I don't know, that you learned after living this life, like what are decisions you think I should make this year that would either better prepare me for something or put me in a better place or something like that.
That leads to the question of, by them telling you that they're trying to change something in your past that you haven't experienced yet.
I don't care. What if my future self was like, actually, yeah, like you should go to this event that you decided that you didn't think you wanted to go to because you meet this really cool person who then like could have helped you start this business or something.
Mhm.
Like
You want a butterfly effect thing. Like
I don't even get me started on the butterfly effect trend.
Fate versus free will. We'll have a big discussion on that in the future.
In the next happy hour, and it'll turn into like a bitchy hour.
Perfect.
Okay, what would you ask your future
I
self?
think I would ask myself something that's sort of like validating but vague, because I don't want like specific answers, I think, but I want to be like, am I like on the right track, I guess. You know what I mean? Like kind of like if what I'm doing
You're going to ask your future self a yes or no question?
Obviously you can expand upon it.
No, you have one question. Don't make it yes or no, because then you're going to be leaving with, you're going to want more information.
But do I? Oh, probably.
Yes.
Maybe not. I don't like knowing these things sometimes. I kind of like the mystery of it all.
Okay, say if you ask your future self, am I on the right track? And they say no, then you asked a horrible question, because
True.
What do you mean right track? What right track?
I think I'd be more focused on like my career, because I think that's a lot of stuff going on with that right now about what I really want to do and moving different roles. Like, is data science going to get me to success, I guess? I don't know. Like, something along those lines.
Katie, I'm anti yes or no question.
Fine.
You're acting like you're asking the magic 8-ball question. You're like, yes, no, maybe, try again.
Maybe that's a good answer. My future self would probably say, like, try again, you dummy.
And then you don't get any information.
I'm not talking to a you in the future. I'm talking to a KT in the future.
Yeah, so you're probably not going to get any definitive answer, actually. No, hopefully.
Probably like, fucking, you'll got to figure it out, man.
No.
That's part of the journey.
I'm thinking of, like, very old version of ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Like a lesson to learn.
I'm thinking like 70-year-old, 80-year-old us.
What would you have done differently? Maybe something like that.
When? Get a little bit more specific.
Because I think when people look back and they like think about big life decisions that they've made.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's probably like one of those, like, if I have kids or not, what are your, like, how did that work out? You know what I mean? Like, would you do that differently?
But you're just asking in general, what would you do differently?
I don't want to like really set it specifically, like, because I feel I kind of want to leave a lot of life a mystery. So you're looking at me
you're
like,
crazy. You have the chance to ask your future self a question. You're like, I don't know. I don't really want to ask.
I just like that, like, unknown a little bit,
Oh my God, Katie, you're so mysterious.
Shut up.
You're like, I just
I'm not like other girls.
Yeah. You're like, I don't want to know.
You thought that car was going to be so easy.
Okay. I thought that was going to be a good question, but basically
I think it is a good question. We got a lot of different answers.
Okay. Next, this is the twofer. What important life lessons have you learned from being in a relationship?
Okay. I mean, life lesson number 1, if you're getting cheated on, don't stay with the person. Just don't do that. I did that. It's a really good lesson, because there's lots of reasons why people want to not give it a second chance or whatever. And I guess had that experience very early. So I don't have to like, what if that down the line, because it was really shitty. And I had no trust in this person for multiple years. It was just like unknown, especially because it was all long distance. So that's a big one.
I would say like the biggest and I think most important thing that I learned is, I think this is maybe more so from like marriage, but like how important it is to continue improving yourself and working on things. Like, I don't think I ever really realized beforehand how like your happiness, especially in a relationship, is like a direct result of like how much you work on yourself and how much your partner works on yourself. That like you don't just like pick somebody and like stay with them and like you resolve conflict, but like actively trying to learn about yourself and like become a better person and like
Be an independent person too.
yeah, but like chip away at your flaws and like try to be a better person, like genuinely. And like with that also how amazing it is to have a partner that does that.
And wants that for you.
Yeah. But like does that for himself.
Oh, does that for himself too. Yeah.
Yeah, like I think the biggest thing is like how amazing a marriage and relationship can be if both people are doing those things. That's like I think the biggest thing that I learned, because I think going into relationships and marriage, like I was just like, oh yeah, you pick somebody you love and you vibe with, and like obviously you think they're great people, but like working on yourself is hard. And to get to a point where like you're actively doing that, and then also like for your partner to be actively doing that, it's pretty crazy. And it's like
Yeah.
so nice.
It's a lot of like growing together too, you know?
Growing together, but I really think that it's more important to like I think if you like support each other and love each other and appreciate each other and understand that you're both on your own path, but like have a great foundation and like want to be around each other. Like, I don't know. I think there's a lot of value in like growing as an individual. Because then it makes your relationship better too.
Yeah. Has to be 2 plants in a garden. That sounded dumb. But you know what I mean?
Is that a real saying?
No.
I was like, does there have to be? I was like, also, who has a garden and 1 plant?
Exactly.
I guess if you have like a bunch of blueberry bushes, does that count as 1 plant?
Sure, but like, okay, well.
I don't like that saying, Katie.
Well, you know what? It's not a real one.
Okay.
I was testing it out, but.
Yeah, we'll try again later.
Can't win them all. Can't win them all.
Okay. Next question
Part
that's
2.
part of that is, what important life lessons have you learned from being single?
Ooh, we're bouncing around. Those are all related. No, they're not. The first one definitely wasn't. I was like, wait, but the first one totally was. Let's see.
I think like first, like have fun. Do whatever you want. I think like being single, like just take advantage of like having like only you to worry about and like put yourself out there. Like I just feel like I so enjoyed being single because I just did whatever I wanted. And like I don't know, I think a lot of women especially like spend so much time wanting to be in a relationship that they're not even enjoying being single.
I mean, I enjoyed being single because we were single together.
Yeah, because also I was single for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think so many people like are looking for love and validation in a romantic relationship when you should be like appreciating that and like feeding like the love and validation you can get from like your friends. I don't know. I think, yeah, I would say that's my like biggest lesson.
I'm gonna take that and run with it. So I was trying to think of some corporate lingo.
I thought you were gonna say, I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
No, and say single people are losers. What do you mean you're not getting laid regularly? What do you mean? Didn't say that. I think for me personally, the best part about being single was so I kind of really bounced between relationship and relationship and didn't really have a time to like figure out who I was as an adult. And obviously that's still happening. But it was really like, I think not a priority because I got a little dependent in relationships because they were a big safety net for me for some reasons. So I just like really relied on them being there and not like what I was contributing to them. I don't think I was an amazing partner, you know, I didn't like do anything crazy, but like I think it was more like becoming a more vibrant version of myself because I had to like, not that I dislike myself, but I had to like myself, you know, I had to like live with myself, you know?
So how did you like find yourself, or what did you learn about yourself?
I think I just learned more of like my own voice. I was really like quiet. I think I'm like, just like was more like,
Free?
can you ask that question again?
Well, I'm just curious because I feel like I'm thinking of like single people that I know
Mm-hmm.
hearing that, and they're like, "Well, I know what I like. I like this thing, I like this thing, I like this thing." So I'm like trying to get like, what
Oh,
are the
okay.
things that you learned about yourself that like made you feel empowered as a single person?
I think it was more like I'm happy. I can also be happy by myself
Mm-hmm.
and spending time with friends. And I don't need a romantic relationship to be happy.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like that, like, if shit never works out, you'll still be fine. You know, like that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I sort of like lost that fear of just being alone, that it wouldn't work out or like that. I can rely on a bunch of other people for a very high level of happiness. I was pretty happy.
I was gonna ask, do you think you were happier when you were single than when you were in your prior relationships?
Oh yeah, because a lot of those relationships were long distance,
Mm-hmm.
and they weren't really built on a super good foundation. I think
Yeah.
of like intentional. A lot of them were kind of just like falling into or friends or whatever, and it wasn't like super intentional. And then they just lasted a really long time because everything was cool, you know. But it wasn't just because it's cool doesn't mean it was the best time ever,
Yeah.
you know. So I think I was a lot happier when I have to have that constant like worry because a lot of them were long distance too.
Yeah. Also, long distance with like a level of maturity and like intention in
Mm-hmm.
your relationship is way
Yeah.
different than being immature and in a long distance relationship and like no plan for the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was definitely where I was. It was sort of like, well, what are we doing now? Are we gonna get married and all these things? It was kind of all like, not really. We didn't want the same things, but no one talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, it was more like I think I was a lot happier single because I could do what I wanted without having to worry about people, and also it wasn't like they were giving me good support either, you know.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like none of them were the right relationship, obviously, you know. But
I think a lot about like, I mean, I know lots of single people, but I think of like a particular like category of single people who have never really been in serious relationships before and are like adults
mm-hmm.
and are longing for a serious relationship so much that they're not enjoying being single because they're like, well, I've been single for so long and like it sucks and I want to be in a relationship. And I think that's normal. Like everyone wants to feel like validated and loved. But it's okay to like want that, but also like make sure you're doing whatever you can to enjoy that time in your life, because now you're a different example of someone who like started out life in like serious long-term and long distance relationships that weren't that great. And then so when you were single, you were like, oh, like I can actually like be happier than that.
Wait, I can go out with my friends and not be told you're wearing that,
Yeah.
or but I'm not there, you know, like kind of like what are you doing?
Guilted.
And a little bit, yeah. I think gave myself a lot of space to learn there.
Yeah, I think that is big. Learning on your own and single, I think is very important. If you're single and you're not learning anything about yourself, you're kind of
You got to do some different shit.
yeah, you're going to have some issues because I don't think you
Mhm.
can get into a relationship and be able to work on that relationship if you haven't been able to like learn anything about yourself on your
And
own.
I think it makes it easier because you said that part about growing yourself when I was like, well, I already know more about myself. I can grow that. Before I was like, I'm a high schooler who's now an adult with a job and all these things. Like who I was in high school is a very different person than who I was in college, which is a different person than now. But now I
Mhm.
was like, okay, cool. I like maybe can recognize when I'm feeling low and know when that is and help pick myself back up into like doing more things that I like or
Mhm.
picking partners who want the best of for me and all of these
Mhm.
things that like I didn't realize I didn't know I needed because I
Yeah.
learned that through being single.
Yeah.
So it really helps with relationships, in my opinion, being able to be happy with yourself single. Because then you'll be happy with yourself when you're not necessarily next to your partner 24/7. You know?
Mic drop.
I didn't drop it, actually.
I picture you like throwing it behind you and it like hitting the mirror and breaking the mirror.
I mean, it's on a course, so it would just probably like move my laptop and knock over my
It would
marg
come
and
back
then
and then
fall.
hit you in the head.
Thank y'all so much for joining our happy hour podcast. We'd love to hear what y'all chose to drink while you were listening to this week. We hope you learned a bit about what the new summer drink vibes are going to be. That some people need to get, not deal with men who won't do shit for them. Bye. And listen to our deep thoughts on relationships and being single. So,
and I want to know people's opinions on whether they're tired of hearing about Selena Gomez gossip.
Yes.
Make sure to follow us at Life in the Party Pod on Instagram, TikTok. On YouTube, we're just Life in the Party. And Life in the Party on Spotify.
Yes. All right. Illy. Bye.
Bye.